see. I think you guys are just able to hear me now. I'm sorry. Had the sound turned off, so I apologize about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and run through. This is the most recent NAM 3KM, and as you can see here, all right. Sorry guys, got the sound back on. So here's the most recent NAM 3KM. Got freezing rain that is going to develop on the Blue Ridge escarpment, and that will begin to develop across the South Carolina upstate around 11 or 12. It's not really showing up on radar right now, so it's a little difficult to track. But this model shows it developing and moving in around 1 or 2 Henderson County. And those surface temperatures. You guys didn't hear what I was describing the wet bulb process and how we could see a little bit of snow develop with this at the very onset. The dew points are very low, so that dynamic cooling will occur as those snowflakes fall through the atmosphere, and we'll see that evaporational cooling will keep those snowflakes as snowflake, kind of make them stick together sometimes and create some big snowflakes. But we may see 15, 30 minutes of that around portions of western North Carolina before we switch to a freezing rain mix. More freezing rain in the foothills and along the Blue Ridge escarpment here, and the North Carolina, Tennessee. Okay, we fixed the sound issue on the live video. I know you guys are messaging me. I apologize. I had the microphone turned down because we did a live broadcast on one of the webcams. But you can see this freezing rain will move in, and it right along the escarpment, Old Fort, Henderson County, McDowell County, even I believe out here in Black Mountain, we could have some trouble along I-40. The roads are salted though. They're cold though. That's what the main difference is with this system compared to the last system. We were relatively warm throughout most of the day. We dropped down into the 30s as the precipitation moved in, and that caused some ice accretion on elevated surfaces and trees. We won't see as much moisture as what we saw with this system compared to the last, but I do believe a 0.1 to a quarter of an inch will be possible. Not really thinking this much around Asheville proper. More as you get closer to the airport in Henderson County. Those areas just seem to that cold air, that wedge that sets up around 5,000 feet and lower really tends to funnel in here to Henderson County, and it gets to Black Mountain a lot of times, but it remains out of Asheville on a typical cold air damming or CAD event. So what we've got here is just a light icing event that could create some ice accretion on the roadways. So this will be threat number 1 with this system. I see a flash flood threat as I run the model through. You can see the temperatures warm up around 10 or 11 o'clock tomorrow. So by the afternoon, I think most roadways will be all right. But as we move into the evening Wednesday, heavy rain's going to move in, and that will clear off any type of ice accumulation. And a flash flooding threat really becomes my main concern here. Heavy rain, just multiple rounds Wednesday night into Thursday. I'll run the precipitation totals, and then we've got a little clipper system that could move through late Thursday night into Friday morning and drop a little dusting of snow, maybe 1 to 3 inches above 3,500 feet along the Tennessee border there. But still watching that. That's kind of a backside event, but is not totally associated with this front. Here's what the precipitation models show. You can see as that front moves through Thursday morning, heavy rain. And along the Blue Ridge Escarpment here, that rain really rings out. This model is showing 3 or 4 inches of rain or more. 2 inches of rain around the airport, 1.5 or so around Asheville. So just more moisture to an already saturated ground. We could see some isolated flash flooding with this. A little bit concerned about that, especially along in those Transylvania and Henderson County where that moisture really rings out. So watch for that as we move through Thursday. Watching a system into this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. This is the most recent GFS model. You can see we'll have a Arctic front kind of move through Monday, and then I'm watching this low pressure that shoots up from way down in the Caribbean, and the models are really struggling with this system, but I'm hesitant, but I think it could become a little bit bigger deal as we approach the weekend. It could be talked about a little bit more. If nothing else, we could see some snow on the backside of this Arctic front that develops as truncation occurs. But it's the models have really been struggling with it. And I'll show you this, and then this is the most recent FB3. This is just another variation of the GFS. So you can see that Gulf, that low, it's much higher with the low. For western North Carolina, we need this to trend much farther north for snowfall. And so that's what I'm kind of watching. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Certainly not out of the realm of possibility. And you can kind of see it needs to come up the coast a lot more. And the cold air could potentially be in place, but just a lot of players on the field to consider. Then you can see this model also develops that low pressure off that Arctic front, and some overrunning precipitation could really create a mess around western North Carolina. So I've got two systems that I'm watching that I don't think they'll become one. I think they're two separate systems, but things will get relatively interesting again around here Monday into next week. So thank you for joining me. Check back over. I'm going to go live on Facebook, but I apologize about the sound at the very beginning. But just thank you for bearing with me, and we'll see you in just a few. Thanks.